All right, guys, once you pick a book and have it with you either physically or electronically for independent reading, you now have to complete one assignment per week with it. So this is pretty similar to what we did before. Instead of writing it in your IR notebook, we are going to do it all on Classroom, so that way I can see your work as you go, and we can kind of keep track of it a little bit better that way, obviously. So on the top is the basic information about your book. If you have any questions on any of this, I am also posting your weekly expectations for independent reading, and it's explained a little bit more for you here. So for example, if you don't know what genre is, okay, then I give you some examples here. Genre is just the type of reading it is, like mystery, suspense, adventure, romance. Those are genres, okay? The pacing guide is explained here, but I've also written it out in a way that clearly gives the math, so you can figure out how many pages you need to read each week, and then you can break it down by day. So you can either be someone who just wants to read your few pages a day, if that's how you roll, or maybe you want to sit down and you want to read your 20 pages that you have to read for the week, whatever that may be, okay? So you decide how that works, but at least fill out the pacing guide so you have an idea in your head of how much you need to read each week, okay? So you're going to fill that out first. Then I am giving you the due dates for quarter 4. You will notice we have 5 total weeks for you to complete this book. So around Memorial Day weekend, which is in a couple weeks, you should be about halfway through your book. Again, use your pacing guide to figure out how many pages you're reading each week to get there. You should be done with your book by June 8th, and that will leave us 1 week to do the stuff at the end of the novel and end of your independent reading, thinking of your book as a whole, okay? Each week you're going to come in here, though, and this week you'll just fill this out. You'll write down the page range you read. Do not just write down 15 pages every time. I want to see the actual page numbers you read, 39 to 73, whatever it may be, but give me the page range. Here you will replace the line with whatever IR focus question you're filling out for that week. This will help you keep track of it because you have 15 or 16 IR focus questions to choose from. You're doing 5, and all 5 of these have to be a different question. You can't do setting every single time. Once you're done with that week, you can simply just put an X. It's just like a nice little checkbox for you to make sure you have everything that you need. Okay. And then you're going to just fill out the chart on the bottom. So I'm filling in the due date for you. This one's due Monday, May 11th, which is next Monday. Gives you a full week to do. Again, tell me what pages you are reading. Here you're giving me a 3 to 5 sentence detailed summary where you're telling what happened, introduce me to the characters that you've met, give me any pertinent information you need to. This is the main idea sort of stuff. It must be 3 to 5 sentences. Since you're reading a little bit more than what we typically did first and second quarter each week, because during first and second quarter you had 8 to 10 weeks to read, now you only have 5. So you should probably be closer to the 5 sentence mark for your summary. Now your IR focus question. So each week, remember, you're going to choose a focus question to answer. You're going to go back to this weekly focus question document, which I will post for you every single week. Okay. And here you will see is a list of your IR focus question options for you to choose from. Each number is a different one, so choose whichever one you would like. You have 15 total to choose from, and you only need to choose 5. They all ask you to ask a question. No matter what question you choose, you must have a minimum of 4 complete detailed sentences to answer it. And you must have evidence from the text. Whether you paraphrase it or direct quote, I don't care, but you do have to have evidence from the text to support you. And then you cite it in MLA format, which is reminded for you right here. When you do give evidence from the text, guys, embed it within those 4 sentences. It's not like you answer the question, then you throw me a quote at the bottom and that just randomly somehow connects. You want to embed it within your 4 sentences and explain it in detail of how it helps to answer your question. Okay. So if I were to choose dialogue, you're literally going to copy it. You're lucky here, and then paste it over and then the IR focus question. However, you do need to read this. You'll notice dialogue has 2 parts to it. You want to make sure that you actually know what those 2 parts are to answer both. And then your answer to your IR focus question goes at the bottom. It should be about a page in length.